Alright guys, we're about to go to WLR station. We'll be having some interview about community in Ireland, about the Filipinos particularly, probably about diversity, about how we are coping here in Ireland. So let's have a look later on. Tara!
Let's talk.
Tara!
Let's talk.
Okay, so I'm delighted to be joined in studio by Don Kiram and Albert Toy. You're both very welcome.
Thank you very much.
And Don, if I can start with you first, tell me a little bit about your background and how you actually came to Waterford.
I'm actually a nurse by profession. At that time, there were not so many Filipinos here. There was about like 30-ish, something like that. And obviously, when I arrived here in Ireland at that time, everything was like so different when it comes to weather. Obviously, weather, especially when I arrived in Waterford, it's so different from the Philippines. And when you look around, it's not many of like myself here. I remember, funny story, whenever I walk on the streets, people would kind of have a second glance and they would kind of be, oh, okay, somebody's here from different sort of nationality or something like that, you know.
And did you find Irish people very welcoming?
Oh, very much welcoming. And I never had any trouble when it comes to like the people here ever since. That's why I'm still around.
That's a good sign, yeah. And you mentioned, Don, you're a nurse. Why is it that so many members of the Filipino community work in healthcare?
Okay, when it comes to that, in the Philippines, the easiest way to go abroad, you either be a nurse or an engineer.
Or
a
sailor as well.
Or a sailor,
Sailor,
yeah. Exactly, yeah. So that's probably it.
And you've been working at University Hospital Waterford. Do you enjoy your work there?
Very much indeed. It's very busy, but it's fulfilling.
And Albert, yourself, when did you come to Waterford?
I came 2001 and I got married to my wife 2002 and had a baby straight away.
To a Waterford woman?
To the from Kilmacthomas.
Very good, yeah. And your life in Waterford, how is that different to your previous life in the Philippines?
Most of my life is in Waterford now. I'm 48, so it's like half of my life is here. I still don't have. I remember first time came here. As Don mentioned, there's very few Filipinos, and you know the first thing that we if we meet a Filipino, we always get in contact and start to build a community, because we have look we had so much trouble at those times when I came. We have no Filipino food. I remember my father-in-law when we used to visit them, and you're always asking, what can I give you? What can I give you? And I said, I'm grand. I'm okay. But then he asked my wife what he really eat. You know, those guys. It was so embarrassing. But he said rice, but he said, where can I get that rice?
And are there a lot of differences, or are there similarities between the Irish and the Filipinos?
I suppose there are similarities.
A lot of similarities.
A lot, actually.
Really,
yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot.
Yeah.
Even the joke, you know, the jokes here is kind of sarcasm, right?
Yeah.
In the Philippines, a lot of sarcasm as well. But you just have to kind of obviously translate it into English rather than, you know, but the idea is the same, something like that.
And the community in Ireland is very vibrant. You organise lots of different activities here in Waterford, but there's also a lot of interaction with other Filipinos throughout the country.
Yes. We love to coordinate with other Filipino communities in different places. So it's either they come over here or we go over there if there are activities that's being organized. And many of the communities, we try to bring something from the Philippines, any kind of a religious activities or even like
Sports.
traditions and everything like that, and we support each other basically.
And that's important, isn't it, to have that camaraderie as a group?
Yes. Yeah, very very important.
The most really common for us to gather together was the Christmas, because Christmas is really big in the Philippines. Like
Oh.
they celebrate Christmas like
this month is
like
the
it
start
started
of
already, the decorations
Yeah.
and everything. So
Burr.
that was the first time that we organized this way back 2002, and we organized a Christmas party. And of course, when you say Christmas party, everyone came, and that was the beginning of the started to build a community. Yeah.
And Albert, do you get to regularly travel back to the Philippines?
No, with 5 in the family, it would be so expensive. The last time I was there was 2016. Not much. I don't know about
Well, for me, not all of my family members are in the Philippines. Some of them are in America. So what we do, we go to the Philippines and America, because in the Philippines, the Filipinos, we have so much relatives, family members in America rather than, let's say, Ireland. So
And Albert, you also work in healthcare, and as I mentioned, a lot of the Filipinos in Ireland work in healthcare. Is Waterford an attractive location for those workers to come to?
it is really. I've been here since 2002, and I've seen a lot of Filipino coming. It's not just Dublin is quite expensive, cost of living. So it is, even for the last few years, there's a lot of nurses that's been moved to Waterford just because of that. After the lockdown or during the lockdown, I've met a lot of Filipinos from Dublin really that moved here, and I think it is. I like Waterford anyway. I've been to
we
Galway.
we love Waterford.
It's the sunny southeast,
We're so proud of that, And the thing about Waterford is that everything that you can think of when it comes to family is all here. Within the radius of 15 minutes, you can go to the beach, you can go to the mountains, you can, it's like everything that you need really is here.
And we've spoken about how, as a community, the Filipinos in Ireland regularly interact together. But as a community, the Filipinos have really integrated into Irish life, haven't they?
Yes.
And life here in Waterford.
Yeah, one of the reasons for that, I think, is the Filipinos are really good in adjusting or in adjustment, really flexible. Like they can adapt easily, because by history, Philippines has been colonized by so many, the likes of Spanish at that time. Lastly was the Americans. So by way of having that, I'd say we were kind of okay.
So in some ways, there's quite a similar background to the
Yes,
Irish.
Exactly. So we're kind of taught English in school.
Yeah.
So it's kind of easy for us. All the Hollywood movies in the Philippines are like,
No subtitle.
no
Okay.
subtitle.
So you just have to.
You have to learn.
You have to learn.
We
Yes.
watched cartoons in English before we didn't understand but then it's.
And Albert and Dawn, do you regularly keep up to date with what's happening now in the Philippines, be it politics, current affairs, sports?
Well, to be honest with you, not so much.
Not so much.
We're kind of
We get informed from our family what's
Yes.
going on, but it's maybe in my first 5 years I keep an eye on the politics, and we wanted to know who won the elections or who won the boxing match between Manny Pacquiao and all that. But well, we always get informed anyway from our family member that's still in the Philippines. There's something going on there.
especially with the social media and all these things. You'll see everything, basically.
And as a country, is there still a high level of emigration from the Philippines, or have job prospects improved within the country?
I think it's improved a little bit, but not so much.
For the amount of Filipino that lived here, I've heard only 1 or 2 that came back to the Philippines. Most of them stayed here. I think we had a problem as well of like our kids, what we're gonna do with them, because they're not Filipino fully, and they grow up here, and that was my thing. And I said that to my wife, we could move to Philippines, but the kids, they're always Irish. It's so hard for them to adapt there, the heat, and it's a bigger country, it's a bigger population as well. I think they're
Yeah. Because Philippines has like 105 million
million at the moment.
at the moment, so it's huge, you know. And the thing about there is that you don't really have a voice if you don't know anybody
In there, yeah.
in politics or you know, in the government basically. Unlike here, even if you're an ordinary citizen,
Yeah.
you have a voice.
You get heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it helps.
And there was a wonderful event recently as part of Harvest Festival, A Slice
I
of
missed that,
Culture.
yeah.
Yeah, and it showcased many different traditions and customs associated with the Philippines as well as other countries. Do you think there is an awareness in Ireland of the Philippines? Because we hear of many other countries, and sometimes we hear of specific countries more so than others. Is there a level of awareness amongst the Irish people about the Philippines?
I
Well,
think
in
it's-
fact, in work, they were aware because there was nobody from Philippines in work years ago, and our presence in work, they're always like, always asking what kind of food that you have there, and
Yes.
we're always exchanging ideas and culture, which is I really like that, because not just like to the Irish people that I work with people from Lithuania and Poland and from Germany, and we exchange ideas of what it's like in Christmas in the Philippines, and I was also asking what is like a proper like a regular food for Christmas in their countries, which is that's what I love Waterford. Way back years ago, we only a few Filipinos here and a few immigrants, and it was good. It was good.
You were saying it there, Kieran. I think Ireland is aware of Filipinos in you know, the presence of Filipinos here, and whenever you go to the hospital,
Yeah, yeah.
especially, you'll meet Filipino nurses over there. And in the recent times, actually,
Yeah.
the amount of the influx of Filipino
Filipino,
workers,
yeah.
it's just gone like up high,
Mm.
because at the moment there are lots of skilled workers,
Yeah.
Filipino skilled workers, and you probably heard about the NCT inspectors.
Yeah.
So it was a big thing early this year
Yeah.
that they, you know, imported, or not imported, how do you say that? They employed directly from the Philippines. So at the moment,
we have accounting that came. I remember those times the staff, they're hiring Filipino when in that time when the European expanded to what do you call it, in Poland or
Eastern Europe.
Eastern Europe actually, and I haven't seen Philippines. I've been here since the beginning. Like I've seen Don and their bats coming. I said, where is this guy coming from? You know, and I meet them in the bus and somewhere. So I've seen a lot of Filipino coming, and there was a group of accountants as well.
yeah, yes, accountants,
and
auditors.
auditors,
Okay.
Yeah.
and now we have farmers, like dairy farmers.
Dairy,
farmers
farmer
came
workers.
as well for the last
Yeah.
2 years, and there
Yeah.
was a lot of them too.
So
And
it's
I was so
really
surprised,
it's not
yeah.
just confined to healthcare
Yes.
Nowadays,
anymore.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. In the last, I'd say 3 years, surprisingly during pandemic,
Mm.
there's so many like workers from the Philippines who arrived
Yeah,
here.
but the most common are the healthcare or the nurses.
Yes.
I remember I was working in a hotel years ago, and like even walking around the town, they expect that that I was a nurse.
Nurse.
I was like, where are you from, Philippines? Are you a nurse? No, not
Yeah.
And when I was working in a hotel as well, there's people coming from Dublin, and they were said, where are you from? It's like from Philippines, and oh yeah, we have a lot of nurses in Dublin, because there's a lot of nurses came to Dublin before Waterford, really, at those times. So
They were aware of like the Filipinos.
And you mentioned that healthcare is an attractive job prospect because it improves job prospects when Filipinos emigrate. But do you think Filipinos, by their nature, are a very caring people?
Oh, very much. Yeah,
Yeah.
very much. Traditionally, yeah, we're so kind
we
of.
look after our old people.
Yes.
And I remember growing up in the Philippines, my aunts or my mother would tell you, when you walk with her, that she should be the inner side and I'm the outer side. as you grow up, you have to remember that you know, you have to protect the women and the old. And we used to help old women that cross the road, and it was like it's like natural for us. We grew up that way. So and you know, and I'm a nurse now, but I'm still like
Yeah, it's a thing. I'd say we always have this competitiveness
as well. Yeah.
you know, amongst us. Like we want to be, you know, the best of whatever things that we are doing.
Mm.
So probably it adds up to that. You know,
Mm.
there's a, you know,
Yeah.
psyche about that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be seen at the Slice of Culture event also that Filipinos are very stylish. They like their style. And of
style.
course, Dawn, your wife, Laura,
Yeah.
won the most
Oh, yes.
stylish
Yeah.
accolade at the Tremor races
Yeah,
this year.
yes, yeah, she did. Yeah, so she's so delighted, you know,
Mm.
and well, of course, you know, it's the community
Mhm.
is so happy that she got it, especially with the
Fil-
attire or the clothing.
Filipino.
There's
We call them
yes.
Filipiniana, is the normal
Yes.
Filipino dress.
There is this kind of
That's a bit, you know?
touch of Filipino sort
Tradition.
of traditional clothes. You
Very
know,
good. Yeah.
oh, that was great.
A great win for the Philippines in
Yes.
Tremor.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it's lovely to chat to you both, Don Karam and Albert Thai from the Waterford Filipino community. Thank you both very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Brilliant. That was
Thank you.
great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank
you were
you.
happy with that?
We
yeah.
are indeed, yeah.
Tara!
Let's talk.
Tara!
Let's talk.